And I'll turn it over to you, Darlene.
Good morning. Welcome to our Monday morning miracle chat. This is the first call of 2023, and we're so excited that you're here with us. My name is Darlene Clayholtz, and I am subbing for Michelle Niels today. And this is what we call our miracle call, but it really is science. But all of our stories kind of sound like miracles. So we are excited that you're going to share your stories with us today. We love hearing everyone's stories because, excuse me, they help us learn other things that the patches do for us, and then we can share those with our friends and family and clients. So at the bottom of your screen, you're going to see some different ways that you can participate, and there's one that says raise your hand. So when you would like to speak, please raise your hand. But remember that we only use symptoms. We don't name any diseases. And a good way to tell your story is to say how you were before you started using the patches, and then what happened after you started with the patches. A lot of times it helps if you say which patches you were wearing and where you wore them, because sometimes we wear them in kind of strange places and they really do work. So it looks like, Linda, you've got your hand up, so go ahead and start.
Thank you so much, Darlene. I wanted to start because it's like January 2nd. I wanted to share, I made a power statement for my intention for the year. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. I walk with strong, courageous, resilient, heart-centered, loving souls.
Wow, that is fantastic. That's going to get you off to a fantastic start for this year.
Yeah, and one more thing, I picked my word for the year is freedom.
Great.
Beautiful.
Okay, Heidi, you are next. Unmute.
I'm just going to unmute today, and I wanted to share my very first story last year of success wearing, as a 52-year-old motorcyclist, wearing X39 on my neck, and went for a 2.5-hour ride on the first day of spring in my little community here. I was about 2 hours away from where I wanted to go around a 20-mile lake and just do the loop, having moved my motorcycle from Michigan to Pocatello, Idaho. And I was going around Bear Lake and my hand seized up on my gear shifting hand and it froze to the when I squeezed in, and I literally almost went into the lake, but I didn't. And so I got my gear to neutral, coasted to a stop, and pulled off my gear with my right hand, pulled off my X39 on my neck, put it on my thumb that was frozen. It was my muscles that had seized up, and put it on my thumb. And 5 minutes later, I was peeling my thumb off and I was back on the road going to the closest motel to spend the night in my 42-degree weather.
Oh my gosh, that is a wonderful story. Thank you. Sunshower.
Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I wanted to profess my statement for the year. I am a miracle magnet.
Awesome.
And I'm proud to announce that some of my downlines here this morning. Roxy, I think she's here. I saw her face. I see her name. And I also see Dan Boyle. If you're able to show your video, cool. If not, maybe just unmute and say hi to everybody.
Great.
How's that? How you doing?
There's Dan.
I'll figure this thing out.
Hi, Dan.
How you doing?
Welcome, welcome.
Do you have a story you would like to share?
Well, I've been on it for approximately 2 weeks tomorrow, and I got a severe neck issue. I had pain every day for years, and sleeping is extremely painful. But after about a week on this, I woke up in a compromised position, which is usually I used to have to take my hands and pull my head up to move, and the pain was usually pretty excruciating. The pain wasn't there, and I thought, well, that's kind of weird. Well, to this day, I'm still waking up on the side which I never sleep on, and my pain hasn't shown up. So I'm just hoping it keeps on doing that.
Well, that's a fantastic experience. I think it'll keep working.
I do too. Looks good.
Okay, we have no more hands up. Does anyone else have a story they want to share? Well, if not, I will share one of ours. You've heard this story. Some of you've probably heard it a few times, but it's worth repeating. We started wearing the patches in August of 2019, and 9 years prior, my husband had been diagnosed with an eye condition where liquid accumulated in the back of his eye, and he had to get shots to dry that liquid up about every 8 weeks. And we never thought the patches would do anything for that. But lo and behold, when he went in for an appointment 3 months after wearing the patches, the doctor said, "Oh my gosh, you don't need a shot." And we didn't think too much because there'd been a couple of times in those 9 years where he didn't need a shot. But when we went for the next appointment and he still didn't need a shot, we decided the patches were taking care of the problem. And this past November, it's been 3 years since he's had to have a shot in that eye. And we are super excited and very, very thankful for these patches. Okay, Roxy, you have your hand up. Unmute and tell us your story.
Hey, good morning. So I'm typically a Facebook listener and get to see you guys but we're on holiday today, so I'm home. And we've got lots of stories. A lot of them revolve around the pain body. But one of our gals, she had lost her taste for 2 years post-COVID. And just, kind of was adapted to it. Everything tasted like cardboard, etc. And she heard on a call, she heard somebody talk about the vagus nerve, and she's like, I'm going to try it. So she puts the Eon back here behind her ear on this vagus nerve. And she was so excited. Within 2 days, she got her taste back.
Wow.
My gosh, that's
That's
is
pretty-
amazing.
Isn't right? And that's a
It
lot
is.
of a lot of COVID stuff happening these days. So I thought that was a really great story.
It
Mhm.
Thank you.
is. Thank you for sharing.
Mhm.
Who wants to be next? We need some hands up. Okay. I don't want to butcher saying your name. Maria.
Maria.
Unmute, Maria.
How are you, Maria? Anyway, good morning. Happy New Year. I just wanted to say, I wasn't planning to share this because I'm not totally sure if it's proof of the patches, but I think it is. So my sister and I started working out recently, and I haven't worked out at the gym with weights for about 20 years, I think. I'm 65 now. And anyway, so I did just one round of reps, very lightweight reps. And I've been using the patches for about 1.5 years. But what really surprised me is that I wasn't stiff at all. I've been using X39 and X49. I was a little tiny bit stiff in my deltoids and my subscapularis muscles, but I was really surprised how not stiff I was. And I'm going to continue working out, and I'll give you a progress report.
Great. Isn't it nice to do things in our older years and not feel sore and tired and things like that, I just love wearing the patches because I feel like the Energizer Bunny all the time.
Yay. I hope I'll feel more like working out more. That's my thing. Thank you so much.
And by the
Thank
way,
you.
congratulations, Maria, one of our newest directors. Woohoo!
Woohoo, thank you all.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay.
Okay, Rita, you are next.
Thank you. Good morning. I just wanted to share, I've been using patches. I started with X39 and energy enhancers back in late August of 2020. Yesterday, one of my customers and I went to Old Orchard Beach, Maine, as part of a crowd of apparently about 450 to 500 people, and did the lobster dip in the ocean at Old Orchard Beach. So there were 400 to 500 of us. We brought in $150,000 for
Oh my
Special
gosh.
Olympics. And it was a blast. So I think next year we ought to have a LifeWave team.
That sounds great.
And then I came home and did a combination run walk. What a cool way to start a year.
Oh my goodness.
Patches all the way.
And Rita, please tell everyone how young the Soaring Senior is.
I am looking down the tubes at 81, going on 37.
Fantastic. Okay, Dr. Tom, you are next.
I'm still reeling. Rita told that story last night on our team call, and it gave me a high, and it's like another little booster dose, right? You hear it again, and that's one of the things so I maybe I'll use that as a jumping point. I can't remember where I told this story last week, but if it's a repeat, I apologize. But I've been hearing a lot of Alavida and skin rejuvenation stories. And I don't know if Lisa is on the call right now, but she's got a great story that she was going to share today. Maybe she can hop on after me. And I wanted to pass along too. I don't know why this goes out of my mind, but we have branded sites for the My Alavida site, just like we have lifewave.com/our username. You have myalavida.com/your username. And there's great stories and pictures and science. And I love that site. For some reason, it keeps going out of my mind. But I have lots of scars all over me. And I fell and broke my jaw years back, right on my chin. And I've always had a tiny little scar here from where they had to suture it closed. And I always have to be quite careful shaving. And I've been wearing these patch technologies for just over 2 years now. And many of my scars from other places in my body have bettered, not the least of which is my open heart surgery scar where I had an aortic valve replaced. So my zipper scar, believe it or not, is almost gone. It started fading after about a year of using the technologies. And I started putting carnosine right on my sternum, put Alavida right on my sternum sometimes. And I could put Alavida and Nirvana on some of the other scars. And anyway, it occurred to me a couple of weeks ago that I wasn't being careful shaving anymore. And this scar is gone, and my face gets better, younger and stronger. And I'm going to rival Rita when I'm 81.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I did not realize we had an Alavida website with our name. That's great. I'm going to have to go check that out because I love wearing Alavida. I wear it every night.
Mhm.
Thank you. Jerry.
Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. I just want to give some stories from an 95-year-old. My father has been on the patches since last October, so a little over a year. And I'm in Florida. He's in Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh. So, we're on the phone every day and that. But, and, we have been told that like around 60, 65, our stem cells are almost gone. So I was amazed at how quickly he started noticing things. And one is he had lost his wife, was in depression that was really, really bad. So after I had started him on the 39, I guess it was like the next week because I was up there, I started him on Eon. And in about 2 weeks, I was back home and called him. And he says to me, I don't know what this stuff is, but I'm not in that black hole I always go in. You know, I feel good. So that was one thing that the Eon really addressed depression. Whichever other ones was in the wintertime, I guess men get vain too, but he was on the phone with me and he says, I was going to be so embarrassed when summer came because I was going to have to put short sleeve shirts on. Says, you should see my skin. It's so nice and smooth. I can't believe it. So, you know, and then we go on to he asking me, does this grow hair? And I says, yes. I says, why? He says, well, I used to only have to shave every 3 days. Now I have to shave every day. And so his facial hair is coming in. And then like for one more, when Dr. Tom was talking, my dad was a welder and he had scars on his face. And he told me they're gone. So there's a couple of a 95-year-old.
That's amazing. Fantastic stories. Doesn't matter what age you are, these patches seem to do whatever you need.
Right. And he's going to be 96 soon. So
Wow, that's wonderful.
Well, tell him thank you for sharing his stories.
I will. Thanks.
Okay, Carol Lynn.
Good morning. Happy New Year, everyone. My slogan is Connections Spectacular. And before I start, Darlene, could you tell me what patch you said your husband used for the eye shots?
Yes, for the first year, neither one of us wore anything but X39. So just X39 all by itself did it.
Okay, thank you. So I don't think I shared my story from December. I have been wearing the patches since late July, and I had hand surgery for replacing my thumb joint in my dominant hand, third time for this surgery, third replacement on September 13th. And I saw my hand surgeon on December 16th, 3 months later, and I skipped my entire third month of physical therapy. That is probably my biggest wow. That is the word my hand surgeon used when he sat down with me to review my measurements and my strength. And he was ultrasounding me. He said he couldn't see my scar. I still have a scar, but he said he couldn't see it. And I was off opiates in 36 hours after that 2.5 hour surgery. So that was a really huge accomplishment with these IceWave, X39 and Eon at night. And I also wanted to share that last night I talked to 2 of my peeps, my preferred customers, and one referred the other, and we all decided to wear Eon on the third eye because one of them said she wasn't sleeping well. So I haven't heard from them yet, but for me, I slept super well like a baby. I only woke up one time, and I did use the dream aromatherapy also. So that to me is kind of a miracle because I usually wake up, even with Alavita and Silent Nights, I'm still waking up. So I didn't know that the Eon could work on the third eye. So I think that's pretty cool. And now I have one question about Dream. If Dr. Tom or anyone else can share, I have a friend in Spain who shared with me that she is having vaginal dryness. So I'm just curious if anyone else knows if Dream can initiate that juiciness. That's my question of the day. It's kind of, well, I'm not even going to say. So there.
Okay, does anyone have any testimonials about that?
Yes, it works.
Awesome.
Using both Dream and Shine, so I couldn't tell you which one, but it works.
You can spray them anywhere. You just can't inhale them everywhere.
Well, I thought I heard somebody on one of these miracle calls say that they sprayed it on their foot. Does anyone remember that?
I talked to David about this, and these are meant to be inhaled. These are not absorbed through the skin. Doesn't matter where you put them. They're not to be sprayed in your mouth. It is sprayed on your wrist. You inhale it. Once it is inhaled, it goes directly into the bloodstream. That is directly from David. And also many team members and customers of mine have noticed with the combination of Dream and Shine, a shift in exactly what you were talking about. It does work, right?
Thank you, Connie.
Well, and this is Ann. This is Ann
Oh,
Morrow,
sorry.
and
Sorry.
I'm one of those team members who use both Dream and Shine on my wrist, inhale them, and 3 weeks in, I noticed a huge difference in my vaginal dryness. So yes, works.
Thank you.
Thank you both, Connie and Ann. Okay, John, you are next.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've got 60 days on with the patch now, and I think my story is just continually to mind boggle me as far as what's going on here. And I just so appreciate this community here because there's so much positive things that go on. It's so inspiring. Rita's story kind of gave me a little bit of a story here of what's been happening. When people ask me, I'm 73 years old, and I tell people, I used to tell people, yeah, I feel like 35. I'm 35. Well, I'm changing that now. It's a little twist. I'm going to tell them I feel like I'm 80 years old. My biological age feels like 80 because I see people like Rita at 81 feeling better than incredibly good. So that's kind of my story now. But another thing that I'm doing is really wanting to share this with people. And so this year I want to be big, bold, and courageous, but with a little more compassion. In the past, I've been a little bit over the top as far as wanting to share good health and sharing how people can get healthier. And what the patch has done for me, it's really calmed me down. I have less anxiety. I have a message so badly that I want to just help people get healthier, that this is what it's done for me. Another thing that I'm working on that I'm so excited about, and with this community, it's so inspiring. I'm devising what I call a community fundraiser system, and it's starring LifeWave and what's in there. So stay tuned for that. I think there's something there that we can really reach a lot of people towards this journey to good health. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Okay, Sunshower Rose, do you have something else to add?
Sure do. I see several new folks here, so I'm going to repeat a couple stories that some of you have heard before. They're still pretty powerful, whether you've heard them once or 10 times, I think. But thank you, John, for revealing your age. I'm the very same age, and I use Alavita, the whole pack, the trio, every day and every night. And I don't know, looking okay, I think, for 70. And let's see. So one of my main stories was like the second day of using the X39 patch. I had an injury in 2003 that left a feeling of like a stitch, like after you've run for like 10 miles on the underside of my left rib cage, kind of in the diaphragm. And especially if I was stressed or fatigued, or if I drove. So just the jiggling around in the car, really made that stitch hurt. So I would always drive just with one hand because I was always supporting that area. And the second day using X39, that pain disappeared and it's never returned.
Oh, that is fantastic. Love stories like that. Thank you. Thank you.
Got a couple more? Can I say a couple more?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So another one, of course, happened last July, and I've been using the patch, had been using them a good 2 years, the X39 every single day. And my sense of smell, which I never had, is now here. I can smell stuff now. Yep, I know I have BO now.
Oh, that is amazing. I just can't imagine living that many years and not being able to smell.
Yeah.
Smell is just such an amazing sense. So you are truly blessed.
Got a
Just
couple
in time-
more.
Just in time for the aromatherapy.
Oh, I know. I think Michelle said that. Yeah, just in time for the aromatherapies, which I'll also address. But I also want you to know that sometimes my lymph node just under here, under my jaw, enlarges and it hurts and it's hard to chew. It hurts to chew and stuff. So I would just put X39 there, and I'd say 15 minutes later that was all gone. And you know, it's kind of a recurring thing. So let's go on to Dream. Dream, I use it every night, and now I find, as many of you, that I'm not getting up as many times in the night. The other part of it is I'm ready for a gentleman friend.
Oh,
I
that
don't want
is
to
really,
say anything else. You guys get it.
I got it. Thank you. Okay, Rovell, you are next.
Hi, good morning. What a wonderful hosting job you're doing, Darlene. Just really
thank
quickly,
you.
I've got one testimonial from a woman in Nebraska, Norma Wingate, who shared last Friday that her pain in her back was, I was going to say reduced dramatically, but she said was gone after using X39 and Ice Wave. She put them perpendicular on her neck and the lower part of her spine, and she just could not believe it. It was 15 out of 10 in terms of pain and went down to 0. And the same thing happened after doing oral surgery. She used Ice Wave and X39. And then there's one woman, just one other thing, in the Western Canada, she had to stop using X39. Thankfully, that will be temporary. But what happened when she stopped using it, because it was no longer available in Canada, is that her aches and pains came back. Her sleep was no longer as good. And she just said, I just don't feel right. She didn't feel as flexible. So that's it for today. Thanks for listening.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? We still have a minute or so if someone else wants to tell a story.
I'll tell one.
Okay, Marcia?
Oh, you can hear me. Yay. I have a new
We can.
phone and I haven't figured it out yet. So I never know if I can be heard or not. I had a back injury in 2013 working at the airport. I twisted 2 of my lower vertebrae in 2 opposite directions and then had stage 3 arthritis in my right hip. I wasn't able to get any medical care for many, many years. And in 2021, I suffered liver failure from self-medicating for years of using aspirin. So I didn't realize between aspirin and acetaminophen that how, if you're taking 1,000 milligrams a day of that powdered stuff, that it's going to kill your liver. So I ended up in the ER with liver failure and was put on a transplant list in 2021. And my dear friend, my missionary friend, James Manship of God and Country Foundation introduced me to these beauty babies. I don't know if you can see it, the X39 patches. And I started using them for about 2 or 3 months in 2021 in November and December. And then I moved and lost them. And lost all the information, contact, couldn't remember where they were. And I just found them again yesterday. And I'm healthy now. The doctors are shocked. They can't believe that I don't need to be on a liver transplant list. I'm actually healthy. I'm in my mid 50s now, and they don't understand what happened. And I'm like, well, it's the Holy Spirit, of course, but these help too, because when I'm in a lot of pain and I can't walk, I put one on and 15 minutes later, after some breathing, it's like the energy is completely changed inside my body. And I don't know if it's a brain remapping or what it is, but these definitely have had a profound impact on my life. So I met Dr. Tom this past summer, and I'm just shocked and amazed. And couldn't be more of an advocate of stem cell therapy and stem cell technology. And I love that this product is available for people. I would love to see more and more people learning about how vibration and stem cell therapy and photosynthesis, all of this stuff that these are teaching me. And I'm still learning about how, what a profound effect they have, especially with the support community, with people, those of us who are up and over 50, we don't know what we've been doing to our bodies with all the, radiation and everything and the bad food, but it's a relearning process about how to rebuild our body, but it truly is a miracle how we can rebuild it.
That's true. Thank you. We are rebuilding every day with those little round patches. Okay, we have one more hand up. Michael D, go ahead.
Yeah, I actually had to find the controls to figure out how to raise my hand. But yeah, I had two little testimonies. One about myself in that I probably would have ended up needing a root canal, but the X39 sticking it on my tooth, I've had to keep it on for a while, has kept me from having a root canal. But I did share a testimony about my wife. Before, I'll share it again, and that's where she had eye pressure and was in need of surgery. And we used the eye shield at night, and we stacked the Eon closest to the eye and the X39 farthest from the eye on top of each other. And I only did that for a couple of weeks, and then brought her to the specialist, and he examined her 5 days before the surgery, and he really surprised me. And he said, well, she don't need the surgery, and canceled it.
That's amazing.
Oh,
Great
I just
news.
thought that was along with the other testimony that we heard about the eye. So my wife does do that. She had a disease, from that little virus that you get when you get the vaccination when you're really young, and it damaged her cornea, so that her cornea was always getting dry, and she would see the glaucoma, she would see the cornea specialist. So, and he would check her out, and now she'd have to go like once a month at least to see the doctor, and now she only goes maybe like once or twice a year.
That's
because
wonderful news.
patches have kept her cornea from drying out because of the disease that she had in her eye, because she had it in her eye. And so
Great.
she still has pain, but not as bad from the results of that disease.
Great.
Let's give that testimony.
Thank you. Well, we're a couple of minutes past 9:30, so I think it's time to turn it back over to Robin and Gregory.
Well, thanks very much, and great job, Darlene. And God, what a heartwarming way to start the new year with our first call, all these wonderful testimonials. It is a miracle call, and science is miraculous, and so is God and the Holy Spirit, right? So this is so wonderful. I do want to share my screen for a minute and let everyone know about tonight's call. So tonight is a special 2023 launch webinar at our normal time, Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And I came up with this cute little graphic. Teamwork makes the dream work, and we are an amazing team. And you're going to hear tips from the top to help you build your Lifeway business in 2023. We have special guests, founding SPD Kai Jacobson, who we all love. We have Mr. Passion SPD Michael Accurso. He's just an amazing individual, a senior presidential in our organization that's not normally on these calls, but is bringing his team to this call, and going to be a featured speaker. And very excited that we get to introduce our new executive director, who you all know and love, Helen Peak. And together they're all going to share their vision, and how to make 2023 the best year yet. So I encourage you to join us tonight. mark your calendars, tell your teams. I sent this out via our, this flyer out via Constant Contact. You should have received it last night. You'll be getting it again this afternoon along with the newsletter. So I think we'll have one of the best attended calls in history. It's certainly the best attended call in 2023. I know that for sure. So Robin, did you have anything else you wanted to share before we call this call complete? She does. So I'm going to stop my share and let Robin jump in.
Well, Happy New Year, everybody. Wonderful to be with you and hope you had a great holiday and powerful year end to start the new year. Let's see, I thought I had my camera on. Okay, there we go. Hi. And I just want to acknowledge all of you for your amazing work to close the year out, because we did all this work on ending the year strong and so many of you jumped in and we had so many rank advancements. We're going to try to get the company to, have support at the end when, we're finishing all these promotions. Aruba numbers will be announced in the middle of the month of who the winners are. And someone made a post, I don't know who it was, about a regenerative seminar that David's speaking on. And they would put the post in our Facebook group. So it is free. I looked at the calendar of who's going to be on. It's really fascinating. So it is free. And if anything calls to you on regenerative science, you might be interested. But most of all, I wanted to say Happy New Year and how grateful I am that we get to share this amazing journey with each and every one of you. And thank you for your loving, devoted service to really, we talk about this as a caring and sharing business, and that's what you're doing so beautifully. And from that place, we're changing the world. So I just want to thank you all. And thank you, Darlene. You're fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, well, that officially brings our call to a close. If you'd like to unmute and shout out Happy New Year, anything you'd like to say, we'll call it complete.
Friday.
Look forward to seeing you.
Thank you very much.
Happy New Year to everyone.
Wonderful day.
Amazing New Year.
A wonderful year.
Thank everyone.
Everybody.
Happy.
See you tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, see you tonight.
Friday.
Night.
Happy New Year.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
2023, here we go.
Here we go.
Happy New Year.
See you then.
Thanks, Darlene. You're
The
awesome.
year for me.
Oh, thank
2023
you.
will be the year for me. Just you wait and see.
All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
I
Bye-bye.
got my first serenade from who knows who. Who is that serenading us?
Jada.
Oh, that's Jada. Who said that? Who knew my name? It was Jada.
All right,
Randall.
Jada.
Jada, I love your serenade. Thank you. Thank you.
You.